What's up, boys and girls? This is your boy Curtis Miso coming in hot with another video. Today we're gonna do another PSA submission video. I did one back in January, about a month ago. We had a $20,000 max value submission with some really sweet hits, most of which were Gibbies. He tends to have the better luck. He tends to rip more cards than any of us. And unfortunately, we're a month later and I still haven't sent that submission in. So all of these cards are going to be in that same submission. The Pack Addicts guys are going to end my life if I don't get the submission in ASAP. So I wanted to make this video real quick with the new cards before we send these all off to PSA. And this new submission is going to add up if these all go to a 10, which they won't. But if they all go to a 10, this one would be over 20,000 as well. So we're going to have a lot of cards going to PSA, a very expensive package going to PSA coming out of Seattle. So if you see a Brinks truck and a box in there coming out of with Pack Addicts on the package, you might want to see if you can go Fast and the Furious style on that truck. But I will get into it here. We've got about, and I should have counted this before, we've got about, how many cards do we have? Maybe 20 cards that add up to that 20 grand. So I'm going to go through it here without taking too much time. First, we'll go into two cards that were submitted from our buddy Taylor Bass, who goes back. He's one of our childhood friends as well out here in Seattle. He has got a couple cards he wanted to throw in a submission, so I wanted to show those. The first one is this. He was ripping some nice 2018-19 Hoops Blasters, and he pulled this pretty sweet-looking Luka Doncic insert. Really, really cool-looking card. This is going for 70 raw, or $70 out of 9, excuse me, and $300 out of 10. It does look like it's in very good condition other than these cat hairs that I've added to the card from my house, but it does look to be pretty good. Maybe a little bit white on the corner, but that's a really sweet card, and $300 value there if it goes to a 10. Now they're his cards, and I pulled one of these too. He actually, he inspired me to rip some hoops, and I inspired him to rip some old school basketball. My brother-in-law bought me some basketball cards for Christmas from Amazon, bought me some junk wax Skybox, and I managed to pull a Jordan, and so did Taylor. And Taylor's looks to be in very, very good condition. Mine had a really soft bottom right corner, so I'm not going to submit it. Got Jordan golfing in the back, pretty iconic, really sweet old school look to this card. And as you'll find with junk wax, there's a massive spread because there's so many of these cards. Massive spread between 9s and 10s. So out of 9, this is going for $66. Out of 10, $700. There's just so many of these cards, and I think one of the things my buddy told me, he's one of the biggest raw card submitters to PSA in the world, is that a lot of these older cards, it's very hard to get a 10. PSA wants to retain the rarity of their 10s. And so I'm not sure if that's the case or not, but that's what he says. So I think it's going to be pretty hard to get a 10 on this. But if it does, go to $700 on that. Then we go into Borrego, Mike on the Mike's cards. And he's got some pretty cool ones. First, we have two of these really cool old school Bowman Jordans with the auto on there, the fake auto on there. That was the look of the card back in the day. This is his rookie card from 1989. Our local card store actually found one of his clients sold him a garage full of wax of old baseball cards, and so he was selling these boxes at I think $35 a piece or something crazy. And I wanted to buy a couple, but I didn't get down there in time. Mike ripped these. They had some gum in there back from 1989. It's pretty awesome. And so again, same with the Jordan. Huge spread between 9 and 10. $70 out of 9, $800 out of 10. And again, it's going to be really hard to get these to 10 because there's just so many of these cards. Junk wax era stuff. Two more cards from Mike. A couple more Mariners. Mr. Kyle Lewis, Rookie of the Year last year. He is trying to make the rainbow out of this. I think it's called triple threads. I know nothing about baseball. I'm a basketball football guy. Mike and Gibby are the baseball guys. Mike was both of them played a lot of baseball. Gibby played in college, actually. He was a pitcher. So these I'm just looking at my spreadsheet. The Sapphire one to 10 is 200 raw, and the purple one is 100 raw to 75. And so if you I just multiplied those by 3, and so at a 10, this one would be worth 300, and at a 10, this would be worth 600. If you can't find comps on cards, best thing you can do is just take the raw value, multiply it by about 3 to 5x, and that'll be your value at a 10. So Gibby's cards here, or Mike and the Mike's cards here, if they all 10, it'd be worth 2,500. These probably won't, and they'll probably be more like 70 a piece, which would lower the value of this group of cards quite a bit. Then if we go into Gibby's cards, which are always massive, but actually my pile is pretty close to his in value for once, because I hit that one, what people are calling God box in Optic, which is just ludicrous. But so if we start with smaller cards, going smaller to bigger, first we have really nice Justin Jefferson Silver Hollow Prizm that Gibby pulled out of Optic. Look at that, it's so clean. That surface looks pristine. This is a $100 card. These are going for $100 comps wise on eBay. So out of 10, you'd be looking at anywhere from three to 500 on that. That's gonna be a beautiful card slabbed. That guy is such a player. And then he pulled this out of Illusions a while ago. I didn't include it in the earlier submission because it's a little bit smaller of a card relative to what I was showing then. But this is a $125 card raw. It is a blue encased auto. Love his auto, the J Hart, numbered 225. So this would be about a $400 card at a 10. And it does look like it's in pretty good shape. So that's a cool one. Jordan Love's a guy who, I've been looking to buy some of his cards on the cheap, thinking, you're getting a deal, but his prices are so expensive given the risk around it. He certainly has all the tools to be an elite quarterback, but he was not. He had accuracy issues, so there's so many question marks about him, but training under Aaron Rodgers with the elite tools that he has, people are paying up for him, but I just can't do it given the risk. I hope I could pull him. But Gibby's pulled a lot of Jordan Loves. I think he has 3 autos. And then we have a really beautiful Jalen Hurts orange Prizm hollow rookie card out of Prizm. This is to 249, and raw it's selling for 125. So again, similar to the Jordan Love, we put a value of about $400 on this out of 10. This will look beautiful slabbed. That is a really good looking card. I'm jealous of so many of Gibby's cards. Another one of his pulls from a while ago. This is out of Mosaic Hobby. It's a red Prizm parallel. This is a $175 card raw. And so it'd be a $500 card at a 10. It is going to be a little bit more desirable than some of the retail Prizms that you pull, given how expensive Hobby was. Looks like you've got a little extra piece on there, but no chipping within the card, so probably that's it. So that's a really, really nice Hobby parallel of Justin Herbert. And I was saying Jordan Love because there's another Jordan Love. Look at this blue cracked ice rookie Prizm. I told you Gibby had a lot of Jordan Love. Numbered to 99. Awesome card. I just saw a recent comp of this at 280 raw. So like I said, his prices are very high given that he's probably not going to be playing for a few years. And at a 10, this would be about an $840 card. Everyone loves cracked ice, and this is a numbered Prizm. It's not retail. This is Hobby. This is just awesome card. I'm trying to catch the light there on the cracked ice. The one issue that this card does have is you can see a refractor line going right through the middle, which will probably hit the surface grade. There it is, and it'll probably take it to a 9, but sometimes I've seen 10s where they just let these things go. So who knows? But even at a 9, this would be a beautiful card slabbed. Let's see if I can get the light a little bit better. And then, I don't know if you guys watched Gibby's recent rip out of Chronicles. He pulled a really nice box, Chronicles Hobby box. Pulled this purple John Morant to 49. Really, really cool card. There's no comps on eBay for this. There's just not that many of these. But if you look at the value of, like, I looked at a purple Flux out of Chronicles, which is about 500, which is probably the most desirable parallel you can pull. And I looked at the purple Phoenix to 49, which is closer to 3. And so I put this one on the lower end because it's probably, to be fair, Essentials is one of the less desirable, slightly less desirable of the different sets in Chronicles. There's a ton of them, but Flux would be the top, so it's not going to be worth as much as the Flux. And so out of 10, this would be maybe around a $900 card. And it looks, I mean, the condition, this thing looks absolutely pristine. I would be surprised if this didn't 10. So that's a $900 card in my hands, which is pretty cool. And then we get into some of his massive Optic hits that I was just insanely jealous of. One is this mythical Joe Burrow short print hollow insert. These are pretty uncommon. I only pulled one mythical and 8 boxes of Optic. Gibby pulled 3 in 1 box, which was just insane. You should go watch that if you haven't. And so this one, these are consistently selling for $300. The prices have fallen on a lot of the other mythicals. I sold my Mahomes mythical for $300 real quick, flipped it, and now they're already down to $150. The Joe Burrow ones have not dropped. And the cool thing about this, it's a short print insert, good looking insert, and it has the RC shield on it, which you don't usually see on inserts. And so this will be a card that should probably hold some value, and it's shorter print, so it's pretty cool. This would be really awesome at a 10. You'd probably be looking at a value of 900 or 1,000 on this as well. So that's a big card. And then he also pulled this, another Joe Burrow, new parallel out of Mosaic this year, or not Mosaic, Optic this year to 79. Pink Velocity. Just awesome. This is, my boss just messaged me on Teams, but I looks like I can message him later. This is a $600 card raw. I actually couldn't really find many comps for this, so I had to kind of triangulate into that, but I think that's about right. But again, this is a pretty uncommon card. There's only 79 of them. So out of 10, this would be worth $1,800. It's just a massive card. There's so many of Gibby's cards that I just want to slide right over into my PC and hope he forgets about them, but I don't think this is one that he'll forget about. God, that's just a sick card. And then, but that's not his best card. This is his best card. He pulled it in the same box that he pulled that from. So he had a box that I thought I would never top, but I actually was able to top it somehow. One of the best boxes I've seen of Optic. Justin Herbert red, ruby red to 99. This is a beast. Perfectly center. The top's a little thick, but it's good enough. PSA's flexible with that. 52 out of 99. Just an absolute monster. One of these sold. We were watching it closely on auction. Sold yesterday for $13.50 raw. This is a $4,000 card at a 10 right now. So I am actually shouldn't even be touching or holding this card. This needs to go straight to PSA in a safe. That is a very expensive card that I'm holding in my hand. So if you look at all of Gibby's cards, if all these go to a 10, you'd be looking at a value of $10,000 and a raw value of $33.50 for all of these. So a lot of value to be had in that stack. And then you go to my cards. First, I got something a little different. Little Pokemon. Couple of Charizards, and these are not the Charizard you're thinking of. They are, I don't know a ton about Pokemon, but I don't even know enough to be dangerous. But these are, I ripped a couple on camera. I'll post that video later with my wife. A couple of, oh God, I'm forgetting. It's not Hidden Fates. It's, I don't know. I don't remember what it's called. But these just come with every box that you buy. So I think it's a $10 card raw, but amazingly, given how hot Pokemon is, if you get these at a 10, which they probably both are, you'd be looking at $150 a piece. So I'm just gonna send them in and get them graded and probably flip one, keep one. So that's cool. And I told you that I was inspired by Taylor's Hoops Rip, so I bought myself a Hoops Blaster, and what do you know, I pulled this on camera too, you can go watch that. I pulled a nice Luka base, nice iconic card, look at that pose, pretty cool. I don't know if this will 10, might 9. There was some chipping somewhere on one of the edges. I made a note of that. But this is a $125 card, even raw, so it almost paid for, well, yeah, nearly paid for the box that I bought, and then $350 card at a 10. So love me some Luka. His prices have dipped a little bit, which is nice. Justin Jefferson pulled this out of Optic, Aqua to $299. This is a $150 card, raw, and a $600 card at a 10. Really good looking card. Runner-up, Rookie of the Year. Pretty sweet card there. And then what do I have? Just a base Herbert. But given Herbert's values, this is right up there. This will probably be worth about the same. These are based on what it's selling for now. It's worth about the same as the Jefferson. $200 card raw, $600 card at a 10. Perfect condition on the front, perfect centering. Only issue is there's one print line going vertically right across the back. So I'm not sure what to do. I think it'll probably almost certainly 9.5. Not sure if I want to risk it and try to get a 10 on it at a PSA. Next, we're going even bigger here. This is my biggest pull until that ridiculous box that I pulled later on. My last box, a silver hollow Justin Herbert. Pretty massive card, $750 raw. Which would imply that's a $3,000 card at a 10, but I don't think it will be when prices kind of settle in. So I put a value of this at 1,000, which is also probably a little bit conservative, but just based on what Optic cards tend to go for top QBs, I don't see this being, it seems like a stretch to call this, a $2,000 to $3,000 card, but we'll find out, I guess, a year from now when I get it back from PSA, given how long it takes. The one issue with this thing is that there is a little bit of gunk on the front, so that could be a major issue actually for, it could push it down to a PSA 8 or something. So I just want to send it to my guy and see what he thinks, because other than, it's really hard to see it, but other than that, it's perfect. So, and then here's an interesting one. We've pulled, so everything you've seen from me and Gibby was pulled, other than these cards that Mike bought, these Kyle Lewis. But this is a Joe Burrow Origins. I bought this. I rarely buy singles. I've gotten a little bit more into buying singles, but I just love ripping. This is a Joey B on-card auto Origins, numbered to 99 with a team color red-orange parallel on the back. Really sweet card. I bought this, a couple weeks after he broke his leg, and I was just betting on long-term. People were way off him. His values had dipped, plummeted, and then came all the way back. So I was able to snag this at, you won't believe it, $275 for a Joey B on card. And sometimes he messes up his auto, like the on card that I got out of Optic. His B was all messed up. This is just perfect blue ink, number to 99, $275. So the value of this ungraded is already up to $400, which is great. And one of these actually sold at a 9 for $1,200. I certainly usually don't buy raw cards, but I just really, online, because you just can't tell the condition. But I just really wanted one of these for my PC. I wanted an on-card Joe Burrow auto, and I couldn't pass up that price. But I've already made a nice return on it, and actually, the condition turned out to be pretty good. There's one surface kind of indent here, minor, and one surface indent on the back that's minor. So if I could 9 this, which I think I could, it's a $1,200 card, which is pretty awesome. It's not going to be a 10 because of those surface issues. And then the biggest card of the submission, which I never have the biggest card. Gibby always does. Out of that box that you guys hopefully have seen by now, Justin Herbert. I'm trying to get the light better. Justin Herbert downtown case hit out of Optic. This was the card that I was chasing. I didn't give myself, really any real chance of pulling it, but I did. Some people said they wanted to see the back on the video, so here's the back. It's really nothing special. But these are going for $3,500 raw right now. And some people, you'll get confused if you go, it's kind of silly actually. The Donruss case hit downtown looks exactly the same as this. It just has a different logo, so people are confused. So yeah, the Donruss one sells for a lot less. It's like a third of what the Optic one sells for. I feel like they should have changed the Optic one a little bit more so they wouldn't be so similar, but it is what it is. And so out of 10, I mean, that implies that it's a $9,000, $10,000 card. If you multiply that by 3, I think that will come down. So I put a valuation of $5,000 on this out of 10, which is probably a little overly conservative, but that's what I'm going to put on it. And honestly, I don't think it's going to 10. The front is look at that. It's near perfect. Corners, edges, everything. There's like one minor little mark somewhere on there, but look at this thing is maybe right here, but it's almost pristine. The only issue is on the back. You've got, look at that, just a little bit of stuff and a little bit of print lines. So this thing's not going to 10, let's be honest. You might be able to sneak it. You might be able to sneak a 9 on it though. I just don't want to sell it. I mean, this is the biggest pull of my life. So if I would just love to get a PSA 9, get this slab to get it in the PC. So anyway, that is going to do it. So my cards, if you add up the value out of 10, this would be a 93.50, $9,390 of value. If the ungraded values of these is about 5,000. So pretty big submission for me, big submission overall. If they all 10, we get a value of about 23,000. But I'm not going to waste any more time. I need to get these things shipped off so I don't get yelled at by the Pack Addicts crew. This is Curtis Miso signing off.